What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Boondocks Overland and Outdoors. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and stay up to date. Today we're going to be working on my 83 Toyota Hilux, and last video, just to give y'all an update on it, last video we went ahead and drained all the nasty fuel that it was in there. This truck has been sitting for years, so it was just an absolute gross fuel that was inside the tank. So we dropped it, cleaned it out with some fresh fuel, and we got it running. So today we're going to try to tackle the issue with no brakes. It has absolutely zero brakes. So hopefully by the end of the video, this thing will be stopping on a dime. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys, and go from there. Hope you guys enjoy the video. In this video, we were supposed to be tackling the no brake situation we had with this truck. And even had my dog Roscoe helping me bleed the brakes, and we were making some headroom. But the next day, the old 22R just took the turn for the worse. So let's go ahead and jump into the video, guys, and let's see what's going on with it. We might be even having to pull this motor out sooner than I wanted to. Maybe I should pour some coffee in the carburetor. Maybe it'll wake it up a little bit.
It definitely sounds like it's down a cylinder.
So definitely sounds like it's down a cylinder, and I definitely heard something clunkering around when I was spinning it over and I was trying to build compression. It's definitely not a good sign. So I'm probably going to take the valve cover out and inspect the rocker arms. It almost sounded like a rocker arm came loose, and if not, most likely the timing chain probably jump a couple teeth. The guides, I know the guides always go bad on these. Good thing is that this engine is not an interference motor, so hopefully no bent valves. And we're gonna take the valve cover out and go from there and see what's up with it. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what we find out. If this thing will pop out. You know what I was noticing, guys, that just like RZ Lux, the valve cover was leaking, and that only means that it's a clear sign that we need to V8 swap it, just because the valve cover is leaking. On RZ Lux, the valve cover was leaking, and we resolved that by turbocharging it. So with this one, obviously it just needs a V8 swap. Let's see if we can get this thing out. Can't do it with one hand, so let me put y'all on my mighty camera stand right here. Okay, shoes out. Okay, guys, here we have it. At first glance, everything looked good. I was almost sure it was going to be a rocker arm, but these are not very common for the rocker arms to go bad. And then I thought it was going to be the chain that probably, fell off, broke. I don't know. Well, not broke, because then it would crank, but I started looking inside of here, looking at the guides. The video is going to be a little bit blurry here. Hopefully I can stick this flashlight in here. There we go. So, come on, focus camera. There you go. You can see that bolt right there. That holds onto this guide right here on this chain. Let's see if I can get this going, guys, for you. See this? See that? That is totally busted. So these plastic guides break all the time on these trucks. And that's exactly what happened with this thing. The chain guide broke, most likely jumped a couple teeth on the timing, and that's why it's misfiring. So looks like we'll have to be doing a timing chain on this truck. Get my flashlight back. Timing chain job, but we all know that that's not going to happen. So originally, guys, I wanted to get this 22R running, get the truck on the road, and just get a feel for it, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't want to invest more time or money on this 22R if I'm going to go through with a V8 4.7 swap. So at this point, it kind of leads me to forcefully go through with a swap, no backing out, and ripping this 22R out. It's kind of unfortunate because I really wanted to get this thing on the road,
and give you guys a video of it, a before and after, I guess you can say, with the 22R out on the trail, and also get a feel for it and see the night and day difference that it was going to be with a 4-cylinder versus the V8. But unfortunately, the 22R just kind of gave out, and this whole entire truck has kind of been a pain in the butt. Like I mentioned, at first it didn't want to start. It started, and then it didn't start, and then I got it running again. And then I got the brakes, no brakes, and then I had a little bit of brakes, and then no brakes again. So it's just time for it to go under the knife, pull the 22R out, and go from there and figure out the brakes later on once this V8 swapped.
But I think what we're gonna do is put back the valve cover, put everything back the way it was, somewhat, and start moving things around, get RZ Lux out of here, and getting this thing in its final resting spot, and pull the old 22R. So one thing that we need to do before we get to pulling out the motor is working on my beautiful work area here on the floor. We need to move some bricks around and get it as flat as possible, make things a lot more easier on me. Okay, it certainly isn't a masterpiece, but at least I have all this section here, most importantly up towards the engine and transmission, to be flat. Then I have this piece of metal here, put it over there, and everything should be nice and smooth. And at least I'm not on complete dirt and gravel. So I am working in some future, near future, to build a shop out on this property I purchased last year. I already got it cleared out somewhat good. That's in the books, but I'm planning on putting it somewhere over there. So right now it looks a lot cleaner than it did. It was nothing but woods, and all my projects have been born out of this carport. Keeping me humble, guys, keeping me humble. I love it. Here we have it, its final resting spot for the old 22R. 22R gave out, timing chains broke, and it's just time to get this 2UZ swapped going. So this is where she's going to be resting. The floor came out pretty good. It landed right where it's most even, so that's good. Pretty happy about that. And let's go ahead and officially start taking out this 22R.
So back in my prime, I can take these 22Rs out in 35 minutes. I remember in high school, that's all I used to roll around with, 22Rs. And I remember I timed myself, and the record was 35 minutes. Now it's gonna take about 3 hours. So without further ado, let's rip out this old 22R and officially get this 2UZ swap started.
So I'm not gonna bore you guys with pulling every individual item out. I'm just gonna put you on a time lapse and pick up the camera whenever it's starting to look more bare up top. So hope you guys enjoy the video, guys. Still had the original smog pump. Kind of surprising to see these things on these 22Rs. It's seized up, as you can see. There was no belt on it originally. We can toss this out. All right, all these connectors are removed. Got the fuel lines disconnected, ground cables disconnected, starter wire is disconnected. All we have left to do is remove that starter. There's this airplane swinging by, and I don't know if you guys can hear that. Got a misfire. I could definitely hear a misfire on that plane. Better make it to the airport. But anyways, yeah, this thing is looking pretty good, guys. Just got to get up in there, long extension, get that starter removed, and we're going to be removing the transmission as well, but that's not for right now. Got to disconnect the exhaust. I got the heater hoses disconnected. Just got to get this throttle cable off as well. And guys, we're almost there. We're getting close to taking this 22R today. I was not expecting to pull this engine out today, guys, I promise. So that starter bolt was giving me a hard time. Apparently I didn't have enough beans, but got a little cheater tube here, backyard mechanic stuff. Got it broke loose though, that's a good thing.
Okay, so starter's out. Got a bunch of dirt and stuff on my face. It wasn't fun. So all we gotta go is crawl back underneath there, get the exhaust bolts off, which most likely are gonna break. But check it out, guys. I think it's looking pretty good.
Everything is loose there. I just got to get the transmission bolts out, and like I mentioned, these two exhaust bolts from the bottom. Okay guys, so I may end the video here. I don't have my breaker bar ratchet with me here at the house, and without that, I don't think I'm going to break those 17mm bolts loose, and I'm just going to struggle. So I think we did a lot today. We got this thing basically almost ready to come out, but like I said, those two bolts on top of the transmission bell housing, they're going to be a pain in the butt without having my breaker bar with a long reach handle. So I'm going to try, but no promises. So yeah, stay tuned though. I may be able to break those two bolts on top of the bell housing loose, and we may be pulling the motor out today. I got about an hour or so of daylight. It gets dark at 5:30 and it's currently like 4. So I'm gonna try for y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. I was able to break this upper bolt loose here with this wrench, which is probably not the most ideal tool to be using, but I did break this one loose. Now we just got to tackle the driver's side, break that one loose, and it looks like we're on the clear, because this one's over here are just a pain in the butt, and I don't have a long 1/2-inch extension to get it with my 1/2-inch gun. So you guys know what this and this mean? That's right, we got the two bolts removed from the top, and that only means one thing. We're going to be removing this 22R today, and she'll be out officially. Okay guys, so with minutes to spare, ready to pull out this 22R. Hopefully it doesn't fight me as much as it did with the 2UZ. So let's get to it, guys. 22R is officially out of UZ Lux, and it's getting closer to living up to its name. So this video is all over the place, guys. I really do appreciate you guys watching all the way through, if you're still here with me.
without further ado, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
And we have Mr. Roscoe here to make a bunch of barking noise in the background. Oh, I guess so. This is my helper for today.
All right, we got Roscoe here helping us out, pump the brakes, and we're gonna bleed these things, right, Roscoe? Hey, no sleeping on the job. Don't get lazy on me.